Well, we made it to where we're going to be disking today. It's this spot. You can tell where there's a line that the brush have not been cleared over to this patch of alfalfa over here. With this little spot down here. But there's this pile of trash here that I've got to move. So I'm actually going to unhook the disc and then push that out of the way and then hook the disc back on. And then we'll keep going from there. So that's the game plan right now. Let's see if I can drive into a sinkhole. That's cool. So I'm gonna unhook the disc and then I'll probably go through and mark anything that I need to be aware of. And then we should be good to go. So I just unhooked the disc. As you can see, it's staying there while we move. Now I should actually probably go through the pile of junk and make sure that there's nothing in it that's going to hurt us. Like those big steel posts there. Yeah. Those should probably not be in there when I'm pushing. Also, I have a rake and a shovel in my bucket. And I'm actually going to leave those back over on the disc. Alright, now I'm going to get the steel posts. Right now the dilemma that I'm facing is where to put the giant pile of dirt. I could either put it right here, and then I wouldn't have to cut down this electrical fence that you can see right there. Or I could put it on the other side of the electrical fence, and then we won't have to worry about it anymore. Alright, well, I made my mind up. I'm doing kind of a mixture between the two. My goal here is to only move brush, but there's so much dirt in this that that's pretty much impossible. So what I'm doing is I'm picking it up and I'm just dumping it over the fence so that I don't have to cut the fence down, but we also don't have to worry about it anymore. There's quite a bit of space over there, so I should be able to get all of it. Okay, I'm almost done. I've just got that little pile right there. Otherwise, I think that I'm pretty good. This is something that's pretty hard to do with one hand. But I just wanted to check in and showcase my pile right there and right there. We'll see if I can get it cleaned up all the way. And then I'm gonna go mark some stuff and then we'll be good to go. Alright, I just took a couple minutes and marked out where like my borders should be, and if there was a road where it should be. That's where I felt it should go. So now I still haven't marked my risers. Yeah, I should probably do that. I can do it with the disc on though. So, now I'm gonna start disking. Okay, I'm all hooked up now, but there's one thing that I want to do before I get started, and that is grease the disc. This disc is tiny for this tractor. That doesn't really have anything to do with why I'm disking it, but it has not been greased in a while, so I'm gonna go do that. So when you're greasing machines, it's pretty much anywhere that there's motion that there's a place that you've got to grease it. So for instance, right here, there's this hydraulic cylinder, and it's what raises and lowers the machine. Right here's where it pivots on the machine, on the frame. And right here, there is a nice little grease point. So let's see if I can do this with one hand. Push that guy on. And now I'm gonna run the thing. Oh yeah. We usually go until grease starts coming out somewhere, but it looks like that's not happening here. So I pumped the thing numerous times, so I'm not gonna keep going. There's more grease points on this part. Let's see if I can get the camera to be happy. Yeah, you can kind of see that. That's a grease point right there. And there's 3 of them on each of the things of discs. So I'm gonna go through and do all of those. Oh my, okay, well I'm out here getting ready to grease this, and normally this part, I remembered that all of the grease points are on the front, and they're all on the back, But this one is on the back, and I realized this is not supposed to be like this. So we are broken. it really honestly should still work. I don't know how we broke that. That is some thick stuff, but it's broken. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, but I am. So it looks like I get to do some mechanic work at some point. It should be okay, because there's still two super thick, heavy pieces that are holding it, but... Well, I think we're just gonna do it. It'll just have to sit here and flop in the breeze a little bit until I can finish this. This isn't very much to have to dig, and where I've already driven it down the highway and everything, I think I'm just gonna do it. Alright, we're all greased up. I did all 8 of the grease points. There's 3 on each of these. That's how I found out about this big... I don't know how. I'm still just baffled how we broke that, because that is at least half an inch thick, and it's like 8 inches wide. It's a pretty big piece of steel that we broke, but I guess this thing's put under lots of pressure, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just not gonna dig super hard where I'm crippled. I'm just gonna take it a little bit easier. All right, let's look back here and make sure that we don't break anything. Lower that down. Lift up a little bit. What in the world? Shut that off. Throttle up. B4, that'll be fine. I'm gonna move that so that it doesn't get under my pedals. Put it right there. All right, let's get started. Okay, this is kind of a pain with a camera in my hand, but that's okay. Do it for the vine, right? Let's go. All right, B3 instead, because that feels a little fast. It's sinking in a little bit harder. So the thing is with this machine, on the right side of it, so on the left side of the screen, if you dig it in super hard, it makes a giant furrow on that side. So what I have to do is I have to make sure that there's a few things that you can do to fix that. You can either pull something else behind it, like a harrow or something, or what I usually do is I go only turn left, because then the left side of the disc is removing that giant, we call it a dead furrow. Or you can do what I'm doing right now, because that's not making too much of a dead furrow right there, is I'm just not digging very hard. That's the nice thing about having a disc that's way smaller than the tractor can handle, is that it can sink it all the way in the ground. There's a riser, I have to not hit those. There's another one right over there, and another one, the line is actually hooked up to. So I'm in 4-wheel drive here. This is not going to take very long, I don't think. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on that broken piece back there. I'm going to go around the entire patch and do an outside round so that I don't make a giant dead furrow on the outside of the patch that I can't fix. So that's what I'm going to start with. It looks like the sprinkler line is sprinkling a little bit into where I was going to be disking today. That's not good, but I think we're just going to deal with it and keep going. There's some sort of a hole in the ground right there. I think my tractor is getting sprinkled right here. We were going to go all the way over to like right here, but since the water's over to like right here, I guess that I'll just dig right along the edge of it, and then there will just be a little tiny dead space there where we're growing sagebrush, because that's a productive crop, right? So I finished my first outside round. Now I'm doing number 2. I figured I might as well do 2, just because why not? It seems to be doing okay with the broken thing. I'm just watching out for risers, making sure that I don't hit them. And once I finish this one, then I'm going to start going into a pattern, which makes it where I only turn left without turning right, because when you turn right, that's what makes even worse of a dead furrow. So I'm in the middle of my pattern here. What I start off with is I do one line up on the outside and then one line up on the inside of that, kind of just split the gap. And then what I'll do is I'll just go around in a circle until I have enough space that I can go around one of the lines. That doesn't really make any sense, but it will more once I show it. Okay, I forgot to come back to update on the pattern and how it goes. But what I did is I went around the outside right there like 3 times or so. And then I just start going around on one of the sides. Oh boy. If you can see, I'm only on the left side. Well, I guess it's the west side of this thing. That makes it where I can get more done without having to turn right. That's the way the pattern works. Alright, I'm almost done with this pattern. As you can see, I've started on the other side of it. I'm almost done. But I'm actually going to stop and put some flagging on that riser right there because I can never see it. And I really, 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 really don't want to hit it. If you can find it, where is it in the frame? Oh, right there. Yeah. That's it. Alright, I'm coming to the end of my second pattern. I've got one more to go. And it's about lunchtime, so I think I'm going to be taking a break. But that's the way it looks. All you can see is probably a dirt cloud, but, you know, it looks like dirt. I'm almost done. Kind of. I'm almost done going over it all, but I'm going to have to hit a bunch of it again. Because this right here, there's still a whole bunch of big grassy sod things in it. And then there's also some big holes in the ground down here. So it's going to be a minute cleaning all that stuff up. But I think I'm going to have to do another couple passes on this too, now that I think about it. Oh well. Well, I'm pretty close to done. I've gone over most of that down there again, and I cleaned up the end, and then I also went up here and just did one swipe through the end of the bunch of places that I missed. Now I'm just going to clean up around these risers, and then I'm going to be done. I'd say I'm done. I just cleaned up a little bit around the risers. I was pretty close in the first place, but oh. There's a big dead furrow, but hopefully when we plant this, it will help out with being rough. Back home, where we can, usually we don't just have this. Usually we pull another harrow behind it, and that really helps to smooth things out, but that's not an option here, since you just have to drag it, and I had to drive down the highway to get here. But I'm headed home now. Gonna go park this next to the shop so that we can fix the broken thing, and then I'll be filling our grain drill with seeds and coming down here, so that'll be exciting too. Okay, I'm here at the shop. I actually just washed all of this stuff. I got a little sidetracked from what I was trying to do, and I ended up washing them, but it was just a little hose down without any extra pressure, just what came out of the tap. But it does look better. Now I'm just gonna take a look at this. It's gonna get fixed here pretty soon. We don't want to leave it sitting through the year just like that. I'm still just baffled at how it happened. I did an important thing here. This is called, well, in some machines it's called a roting pin, but I don't know what it's called on this. But what this does is it takes the load off of this, so that if the hydraulics relax while it's sitting here or while you're working on it, this holds it up. This is really important if you're ever going to do work on anything. Most machines, anything with hydraulics usually has one. For example, the tractor has this guy right here. You just put it over the hydraulic cylinder if it's up and you need to work on it. But yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do here. I don't know if I'll get to it today, but sooner than later. So yeah, that's what disking today has been like.